Hey, welcome back to the Big Rand Show. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to discuss some news out of the Supreme Court today. Of course, today the Supreme Court ruled that bump stocks are now legal again. Now, if you recall, bump stocks were made or deemed illegal by the ATF back in 2017 after, 59 people were gunned down and murdered in Las Vegas during a mass shooting at a concert by a guy who used said bump stock. Now, I am not the most knowledgeable on firearms, so let's go to the article. This is an article from CNN. It asks the question, what is a bump stock? Bump stocks are attachments for semi-automatic rifles that increase the speed at which bullets are fired. It replaces the rifle's standard stock, the part held against the shoulder. The new stock then bumps back and forth between the shooter's shoulder and the trigger, which makes the rifle fire more rapidly. It does not alter the rifle to make it fire fully automatic, which is how the classification has circumvented from being defined as a fully automatic weapon. Private citizens in the U.S. can buy and own fully automatic machine guns as long as they were legally registered and bought before 1968 or 1986. Sorry. Anyways, that's what a bump stock is. They allow the shooter to shoot more rapidly. Now, does it technically turn the gun into a machine gun or an automatic rifle? No. But does it help a mass shooter kill more people? Yes. Because it allows them to fire much faster. Now, I thought the ban on bump stocks was a good idea. It seemed like a good idea. It seemed like a reasonable response to what happened. But clearly, this Supreme Court doesn't care. They don't care about the lives of concert goers, the lives of children in schools. And people are like, oh, we need these. For what? For what? You need your semi-automatic rifle to shoot faster than your finger can already pull the trigger. There's no application for that in a civil society. There's not. You don't need that for hunting. Because if you're having to fire several shots at what you're hunting, you probably need a bigger gun. Just a thought. Or you shouldn't be hunting. Like, literally. If in what does it help you with self-defense? Doesn't a gun that fires more rapidly, isn't it going to cause you to maybe be more erratic with your gunfire in a close situation? Someone breaks into your house, you have the bump stock. Okay. Is it possible that you're going to fire more rounds or so many rounds so quick that you accidentally hit somebody you love? I mean, I don't know these things. But I can tell you, it sure seems like the logical result that could possibly happen in a close combat situation where someone has broken into your house. I'm perfectly okay with people having firearms for self-protection. I get that. I understand that. I know many people that have firearms. I grew up in the South, for crying out loud. Everybody's got a damn gun. And yes, most people with guns are responsible. Many are, but many are not. So, Why did this happen? Well, according to people that have analyzed the case, that are analyzing the case, and from the Supreme Court, this wasn't a ruling that was based on the Second Amendment. It wasn't a Second Amendment case. It was more a case. Um, it says those who opposed the initial ban on bump stocks claimed it was against the Constitution's Second Amendment. But it goes on to say this case was not a challenge to the Second Amendment, but instead an examination of the power of administrative agencies like the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Adam Winkler, a professor of UCLA School of Law, told Yahoo News that the decision highlights the Supreme Court's skepticism of administrative agencies and aligns with previous decisions made by the conservative justices trying to scale back the authority of certain federal agencies. So, this isn't a matter of gun rights. This is a matter of, did the ATF have the authority, really, or should they have the authority to have made this illegal? You know, even under the direction of the president. And the answer is, according to the Supreme Court, no. So, all in all, that's what's happened here. Bump stocks are now legal. And trust me when I tell you, it's going to have problems. It's going to create a bigger problem down the road. More people having access to these things. That means more people that are bound and determined to commit mass violence will be using them as well. But on the good front, though, is that it wasn't shot down because of the Second Amendment, but it was struck down because of how it was implemented. Now, if we can get a Democratic Congress, you know, with a 60 vote supermajority in the Senate and a majority in the House, then guess what? We could go about it that way through the court, or through the legislative process, get it passed, and then maybe it'll be considered done the right way. And you could also, you know, people bring their cases against it, then take them to the Supreme Court, claiming that it's a Second Amendment case at that point, at which point it's very possible the Supreme Court will not side with the crowd saying that it's a Second Amendment right, because it's an addition to a firearm. It's not preventing you from keeping or bearing arms. So that's what's happened. The fact is, this was done administratively through an agency, and this Supreme Court has been very clear that, you know, they don't support that they do not support federal agencies doing as they see is overstepping their bounds. So, for now, these things stay legal. I think it's kind of sad, but it is what it is. Anyhow, you have a great day. I'll see you down the road.